Hey guys, it's the Canadian Art Guy, and this would be my first official painting video. The first thing I thought I'd show you with my new camera, which actually works, is, well, I'll show you around my studio. Just bear with me a second here. Sorry for the shaky hands. And I'll kind of show you where I live, what I do, what my surroundings kind of look like. Right back here, yeah, I got my mountain bikes and stuff like that ready to go. I got my great big old chair. It's really comfortable actually. I've got, well, there's a painting on the go. I've got some other important stuff. Got my guitars, stuff to de-stress, my paints. I'm just gonna stand up here and show you around a little bit more. This painting that I've just finished and somebody's gonna pick up. More importantly, my workstation. The only thing I'm gonna endorse is Pepsi Max. I drink a lot of it, and that's my studio. So yeah, that's this is my space. This is where I work. Okay, so haha, this feels a lot better. This is a lot more comfortable. Yeah, I'm growing kind of a beard. It's time to cheer for the Boston Bruins. So go Boston. No, I'm not really a Jets fan, so sorry about that. Whatever. I've got my canvas. I'm about to put that onto the wall back there where you just saw that last painting. And what we're going to be working on is, what I'm using and what I would suggest that you use is a 16 by 20 canvas to start off with. And so that's my canvas right there. I'm about to take the cellophane off and get that ready. And I'm just going to screw that to the wall with there's already screws on the wall, so it's ready to go. This is what we're going to be working on. We're going to be doing a combination of, well, a reinforced type seam between that and that. And we're going to be using a lot of greens and moss and stuff. Okay, so I've literally not rehearsed any of this, what I'm about to do, okay? The only thing I did this morning was I went out and I got a way better cam. And then I started thinking, you know, I'm going to make this as accessible to anybody as possible. And yes, I've painted for over 40 years. Yes, I typically use the best paint, the best whatever. But what I did this morning was I went out and I bought this canvas right here, and I bought a bunch of craft paint. Now, I'm not going to get into any debates with the artsy crowd about the quality. I'm well aware of the opacity factors, transparency, translucency, the wearing, the weathering, all that stuff. It can all be solved in the end anyways. It doesn't matter, okay? None of it matters. What I'm going to do is paint with craft paint to start with. I'm going to show you that those two pictures that I showed you just a few minutes ago, this is entirely possible to do on $10, okay? What I did today, the canvas, the paint, and even the brushes that I'm going to use, except for I'm going to cheat with my liner, okay? Like I said in the last video, my liner is my bread and butter. It all cost me $10. So to do this painting will cost you $10, okay? That's all you need. So, like I said, none of this is rehearsed, so bear with me. Every once in a while I'm going to reach across, I'm going to grab a sip of my Pepsi, The only thing we're going to do today, the only thing we can do, is get this canvas ready to paint on. Some of the terms I'm going to not use is what's going to save you money. You don't need gesso. You don't need to prime this any more than it is right now. All you need to do is start somewhere. And I know in the beginning it seems like it sounds way too easy, but starting is sometimes a procrastinator's worst nightmare. Just do it already. Just start. So we're going to start. And I have no idea how this paint is actually even going to work. That's what I'm most excited about. Actually, I'm really excited to see how this stuff, hopefully you can see that. This is just, says Crafters, I don't have my reading glasses on, Crafters acrylic paint. Indoors and outdoors. We'll see. You know, I'm going to shake it up because I'm going to assume that it probably needs proper mixing. So we're going to shake it up really good. And then I've got my palette here. And if you saw my last video, yeah, this is a Tupperware lid. That's what I use because you can keep it nice and clean. And I also have my bread and butter. This is my airbrush. This is my main brush. This is what I'm going to use. I'm going to be just as surprised as you as to what's going to happen next because I have no idea. So we're going to open this up and yeah, this paint is going to dry out fast. I can tell that. But I'm going to pour. Let's see if I can show you. Let's see how it comes out. It comes out pretty runny. I mean, Liquitex or Winsor Newton, that stuff is really, it's not watery at all. It comes out like a tube of paste, of toothpaste actually, and then you have to water it down. So this is actually a bonus. I don't have to do that. Cool. Okay, so we're gonna start with that much. I think I poured half the container out, but it only cost me $1. So there we go. And then I'm going to take my big brush and I'm going to try my best. Bear with me. I mean, I'm new to making videos, but I really want to help you. I really want to help people know how to do what I do. It's not that hard. It's really not. And it's not that expensive, especially if we can get away with doing this for $10. So let's start. Alright, I don't want to sound like Bob Ross. I respect him. Okay, he's passed away and he's been a great influence on me. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take and dunk my brush, just like that. And no special technique. I'm just going to get it full of yellow paint. I've never used this paint before, so this is this is as new to me as it is to anybody who dares to watch this video. Now, in my paintings, it's all about composition, but I'm not going to talk about that yet. That's not the important part yet. We're going to start with a light source, which is going to be right over here, moving to the darker source, okay? So we're just going to come across like this, from light to dark. And any place you see black in any of my paintings, you know there's going to be a ton of detail coming. Any place that there's black. So let's start with yellow. We're just going to take our yellow. Oh my goodness, should I start talking like Bob Ross? Because we're going to tap softly, and we're gonna start up in this corner. No, we're not gonna make any friendly trees yet, but one thing I'll do, oh, this stuff actually goes on pretty good, is you notice that I'm moving my brush around. I don't come down like this. I move my brush around like that, and the reason I do that is so that I get a uniform pattern and it doesn't look like I used a silly fan brush. I mean, I'm thankfully I don't even own one. If you're listening right now and you own a fan brush, break it in half. Anyways, so I'm going to reload with some more yellow paint, and I'm just going to tap it in there. And again, like I said, we're going to go from top to bottom. And I got a nice clean brush here, it looks like. I never even checked, but thankfully it's clean. Now, you might be thinking to yourself right now that those two paintings that I showed you, there's no yellow on there. Actually, I was just thinking that. But this is how I started those two paintings. And they didn't take me very long. This is just how I start. You gotta start somewhere, like I said. So, this is actually pretty decent. I mean, $1? This is not bad paint. I gotta say, I got no beef so far. It's doing what I wanted it to do. It's turning yellow. And that was my expectation. That was it right there. And so, what I think I'm going to start doing now, because I'm getting really good coverage here, better than I thought. I don't know what I was thinking actually. Like I said, I had zero expectations. I don't know if you can see it, but I have one screw right there, and I've got one there and one right there, and that's what's holding my painting to the wall. And I've always felt more comfortable painting against a wall than painting on an easel, or especially outside, because acrylic paint just tends to dry out so incredibly fast that I'm just going to reload here with some more of this stuff, because it looks like the canvas is soaking this stuff up pretty good. When I paint outside, acrylic paint, and especially this stuff, yeah, I can tell this is cheap paint. I mean, it's going to dry out instantly. I mean, if I was to take this out on a nice day like today, and it is really, really nice outside, might go mountain biking yet, but if I take it outside, there's no way I can expect to accomplish anything. I can't see it. By the time I get anywhere on this thing, the paint on my palette will be dried out and garbage and useless. So this is working good. If all of a sudden anything happens and this painting falls off the wall or whatever, I'm not even going to edit that out, because that sometimes happens. and it turns out to be like, I can be halfway through a painting and my painting will literally fall off the wall because I goofed up and I forgot to secure it properly or whatever. And in the end, what I consider a great screw up turns into a completely different painting, because when I put it back on the wall, I'll see like, you know, I'll have thought of putting like trees in an area or something like that, and then I just all of a sudden I see a rock waterfall or something like that, and I go, cool, okay, let's run with that. I think what I'm going to try is I'm just going to take my brush and I'm going to wet the tip of it, just the bare tip, and I'm going to move this paint around a little bit and water it down a little bit and see what it's like then. See what it's like. Actually, that's, wow, that paint's faster. That's cool. This is actually covering a lot better than I thought it would. Interesting. $1. Who knew? Okay, so I'm not gonna go much further than this. I'm gonna dry out my brush. My nice happy little brush. $2.50. And there we go. I think that we've said enough, as they say in the art world. I think we've said enough. I know we've said enough. Okay, I'm just gonna put my brush on my water, and the next thing, okay, I noticed in the craft store they didn't have Hooker's Green, and that's what I use. So that's what I'm gonna use. I'm gonna take the other half of my palette. I'm going to put down some Hooker's Green. I don't know how much I'm going to need, but with this paint you definitely don't need, I don't think, anyways, we'll find out, you don't need as much paint as you do with this. But I mean, this cost $1. This tube of paint over here, that's $20, so it's a big difference. So I'm going to wet my brush this time because, like I said, the other paint comes out like toothpaste. So I'm not going to wash my brush in between, okay? I'm going to just stick it into the Hooker's Green. I'm going to tap it around. Definitely need to water that down a little bit more. So I'll water it down. And I'm gonna need to do that some more. You can see the difference between dollar store paint and this really quote-unquote good stuff, eh? Wow. There is a difference. I mean, the dollar store paint comes pre-watered. Interesting. That's interesting. I'm going to water it down some more because it is just that much different. I'm going to water it down, and then I'm going to take, and I'm going to start in this area right here, and okay, we're going to start pretty much right where we left off. And I'm going to do the same thing with the Hooker's Green. Okay? And again, no special technique or talent. Anybody can do what I'm doing right now, seriously. I mean, this is not hard. It's really about, and it's not time consuming, and you're not going to make any mistakes here, so don't overthink anything. That's probably the biggest mistake you can make right now, is to start thinking about what's going here, what's going here. No, we're not to that point. We're simply not to that point. I'm going to have to water that down a little bit more. Get some more Hooker's Green on here. There we go. And then come back over here. And I believe in working, pardon me, in working pretty fast. This eventually is going to be more of a forest floor, as you can tell in the photos that I popped up there. And I'm just going to keep on working this, and working this, and working this, and working it into this corner. And like I said, we want to, it's a good thing the yellow's on here actually, I think. I don't know yet, we'll find out. I mean, usually everything that I do is trial and error. You want to hear a secret? Usually I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay, but in this one though, because I've painted so many rainforests, I do kind of know what I'm getting at. So as I'm going up here, what I'm doing is my brush is starting to lose, lose some of the color, not some of the water obviously, but it's starting to lose some of the color. So I'm going to walk up into the yellow as I notice that it's losing color, and I'm just going to blend it a little bit, not much. Don't think airbrush, nothing like that, but I'm going to blend it a little bit into the yellow, just a bit for now. And it's kind of like adding salt to food. You just want it to blend a little bit. And it doesn't matter if you get paint gobs here and there. It doesn't make a world of difference at this point. It just simply doesn't. I'm going to keep on coming up. The more you notice that your brush is starting to fade out of color, you want to come up and go into that yellow so that it looks like there's just a bit of a, right now it kind of looks like a band of trees, eh? Almost. So whatever you want to call that, I'm not sure what you want to call that, but you just want to blend this a bit. Did you hear what I said? You want to blend it a bit. You don't want to panic about anything yet, because there's going to be so much stuff going over top of this that it's simply going to defeat the purpose. If you worry about it, you're just going to overpaint it. You're going to be painting over it anyways. So just take and loosely, there we go. That's nice. Get some green on there. I'm not sure if the camera's picking that up. I hope it is. But I'm getting some good green flecks here and there. And that's what I'm after. Now I'm going to come back down here and get my palette ready. I'm going to put some more of that Hooker's green on here, except for this time I'm not going to water it down at all. So I'm going to come in here, and you're going to notice right away there's a difference. It's not wet anymore, not really. It's full-on paint. And we're going to just push that on there, just like that. And that makes me happy. Right there. Now, does that look anything like those two photos? And please rewind the video if you need to see those again. In fact, I might show them at the end. We'll find out. But I think that's all the green and yellow that we need for now. I think for just, I don't know. Let me think about something for a second here. I think I'm going to come back into more of that watered down stuff. And I'm going to go back into this band here. You can see it's a little more watery. The Hooker's green, I haven't done anything different. I've just grabbed some of the more watered down stuff instead of the pure green. And I'm just going to, you notice I keep on turning my brush, because I don't want any silly fan-like effect. I don't want a fan brush look to it at all. I don't want any magic art effect. Okay, there's nothing magic about this, so I'm not going for that look. So I want to tap that in there, and I'm trying to figure out right now, what's going through my mind is how much light is going to be here in the end, how much detail, how much rainforest. That's what's going through my mind. I'm not stressing out about some of the things you're stressing out about. You're probably thinking about, oh my goodness, my canvas is starting to run. So is mine. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Not at this point. If it starts to drip a bit, who cares? We're not going to care about that right now. We're definitely not to that point. Okay, and even in this corner up here where there's a lot of light, I'm going to put a little bit of green. And here I'm going to be a little bit more careful. Careful, I don't know, that's a loose term at this point. Just going to dab some color in there. And I keep on moving my brush around. This is actually vital, okay? Don't keep it uniform. That's what a fan brush will do for you. This won't. So keep on moving it around. And I got some nice drips happening in here. I'm going to use that to my benefit in the end, okay? So what you may think is a mistake on your painting isn't actually a mistake. We're going to turn those into really cool things. Now, the last thing I'm going to do right now, I think, is I'm going to put this big brush down again, just for a minute, and I'm going to take my dollar store black, $1, and I'm going to put this on my palette. And my colors right now are mixing between yellow and green anyways, but I'm going to put it wherever I can. Just soak it down there real good. Again, this is not the part of the painting to stress about. This is important. I mean, you're going to find out why. But now I'm just going to take my brush, put it into the black, straight into the black, like it's already running already, so no worries. And we're going to take and black out the rest of the white. So any place there's white. It's kind of hard to get it in there where that screw is, but anywhere there's white right now, we want to make that white black. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to reload my brush. Looks like this canvas is pretty thirsty when it comes to this kind of paint. The dollar store paint. I'm noticing that. That's kind of different. I mean, it's not bad. Not different bad. I can use that in my favor. But there we go. There we go. Now, remember what I said about detail? Any place that you see me put black, there's going to be extreme detail. And if anybody's seen my paintings, and when I say extreme detail, I mean extreme. So, any place there's black, you know there's going to be a lot of detail. I'm going to reload my brush because I just am not quite happy yet. I'm going to paint over top of this green, and I'm going to keep moving my brush around and just give it a little bit more flavor in here. And I'm going to come down over here, and I keep on moving my brush around. I haven't changed my technique at all. I like that. I like that better. And I'm going to put a few black runs and streaks in there. I really hope you guys can see that, because this is important stuff. Now, in the back, if you rewind the tape, you're going to see in that first clip where the cat's crying in the rain, You're going to see in behind them there's a bunch of leaves and stuff in the background that kind of fades all the way to the back. Well, we're going to put some black here because that is going to fade away into the background. Okay. Super! This stuff is, I mean, what more can you expect for $1? This is not bad. This is working good. So, like I said, I'm going to paint this painting, the entire thing, and I'm not going to cheat. I am going to paint the whole thing for $10, and let's see what I can sell it for in the end. What do you think I can get for this painting in the end? Do you think I could get, let's say, about $800, $1,200? We'll see. Now, again, right here, we're going to put some shapes, just some dark shapes. This is not the time to think. This is not the time to start going, boy, wouldn't this look good over here? Wouldn't this look, no. We're just simply not there yet. Just run some black here and there. Just tap it in there in a few places. There we go. That's nice. I like that. That's going to work. That's going to work. I think I want some black in there. That's going to work nice. I'm going to even put a little bit up there. Can you see that? Oh, he ruined the painting. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Right now, we're simply blending it in a very rough way, in a way that you may not be used to doing, and that's okay. That's okay. If you're frustrated at painting rough dandelions that barely look like dandelions over top of stuff that doesn't really look like stuff, if you want to make it more realistic, if you're looking for super realism, this is where I start. This is how it starts, and I'm starting to like this look actually. I like the abstract look of it. You see what I mean by putting the black up into the yellow? The more that we mix the colors together, the quicker things start to come together, and in the end it'll blend in almost like a photograph. So that's what I'm shooting for. I'm going to put a little bit more black on here because I like what I did right there, and I'm just going to throw some more black up in there. And if you're wondering what's going through my head right now, I think what's going through my head right now is that I know that I'm talking into a microphone, and I know that people are watching, and they notice that I say a lot, because I do, and I repeat certain other things, and I'm not even sorry for that because that's who I am, I guess. Okay, I'm not going to do much more. Like I said, this is not the time to start overthinking anything. Like I was trying to get across to you, if you want to know what's going through my mind right now, is just rough form, going from light to dark. And remember what I said about when I paint anything black, or anything's black on a painting, anywhere, that turns into extreme detail in the end. And because I want lots of detail, I'm going to reload with black one more time. This is the last thing I'm going to do to our poor canvas. Is I'm going to just here and there rough in where some trees might be in the end, but I don't want to come down the whole canvas. I don't want to do that. Like right here, for instance, I want to go that far because that meets up with this line right here, and forests have a way of, like, the leaves come in front of the trunks and things come and go and they fade and they come back, and that's the wonderful thing about painting. I love it. I'm going to put some black in there simply because I don't have any color here, and I think I can make that work. So again, you don't need to come up in like in a vertical way. You can go horizontal. It's certain. Oh, that's lovely. I like that. That's cool. We can use that. Yup. Put a little bit more black in there. You see what I meant about it didn't matter if the paint was running before? It really didn't. I just, I know what I'm getting at, and hopefully I can show you guys. Hopefully you have patience enough to bear with me, that you can see in the end this guy actually isn't as nutty as he says he is, even though I really am, I think, but whatever. Oh, okay, that works. That's cool. And I'm not overthinking the painting right now. I'm getting excited because I know in the end this is gonna rock. And that's all I'm going to do for now. So, put my brush down, put my palette down, because I don't want to get paint anywhere. And if you need a look, let's take the camera and let's bring it over here. And there's what we got. Alright, so I hope you guys can see that. Sorry for my unsteady hands and stuff. I don't make videos, I make paintings. So we got yellow, cadmium yellow, fading to hooker's green to black. And any place you see black, remember what I said just now. This is really, really important. This is hyper important. Any place there's black is going to turn into hyper detail. So where do you think, looking at this painting, where do you think I'm going to spend the most time on this painting? Aha! Right in there. This, whatever I do in here, is going to give you the illusion that the entire painting is one perfect photograph. However, as you'll see, what I'm going to show you is by using extreme detail in just this little area, will lend the believer, well, will lend the viewer into believing that this is a super realistic piece. Okay? So remember that right at this point. Right now, this is a really wet canvas. We want to let it dry. You don't want to do any more. That's it. You don't want to do a thing more. The only thing you want to do right now is clean your brush. This thing is dirty, and it's my most valuable brush. It's not worth $2.50 to me. It's what I do everything with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go give it a good bath in water and soap, and then I'm gonna brush it out outside. What I mean by brushing it out is just bang off the water and the excess paint, and that's it. And then I'll be right back. Okay? See you on the flip side. Okie dokie. So I'm back. Beautiful day outside. Gorgeous outside. Beat the dickens out of my brush. It's nice and clean now. You can tell that the Winsor Newton paint is obviously better than dollar store paint. Anything is probably better than that, but it works. That's the point. I don't mean to make fun of it. But you can see on the end of my brush that you can see the green, but you can't see black and you can't see yellow. You can see the green, and that's okay. It's not there forever. It's nice and soft again. I was actually gone for about a minute. That's how long it took me to clean my brush. Okay, so like I told you, this really isn't all that hard. I'll talk you through this painting step by step, and it's going to be okay. Be okay with not being a perfectionist yet, okay? We're going to take this elephant one little bite at a time, and today was one of those bites. Whether it turned out to be a great video or not, I'm not sure. But it turned out to be a perfect start to this painting. Now, the one thing that I'm curious about, and the one thing that I'd like you to comment on, if you're bold enough to watch this video, is what you would like the subject matter to be. What you want the subject to be in the end. I don't know if I want to paint another bobcat. I don't know if I want to paint another kitten, a bobcat kitten. You really don't want to know how I did that. I have two cats, and I make them sit on my knee, and I flatten their ears and stuff, and I make them hold still. Cats don't like doing that. So I'm not sure what you want to paint there. If you let me know, it can be anything from a butterfly to a caterpillar or some species of bird, whatever. I'm not necessarily, I would never call myself a wildlife artist. I love nature, and I think I'm going to make another video after this one, and I'm going to describe what I am, why I do what I do, what moves me, what motivates me to do what I do. And surprise, surprise, I'm not a naturalist, but I live outdoor. I love nature. I live for nature. And it's beauty that drives me. That's what really drives me. So I would be interested in what your idea for a subject matter would be. We're going to be going for a look like this again, and without the cats, hopefully, and without this cat. But that's the look that we're going for. That's where we're going, believe it or not. And so I'm going to call that a wrap for now. Thanks for bearing with me. Go Boston! Go Bruins! Take the cup! And in my next video, I'm going to be moving forward from where we left off today. Let your canvases dry, don't overthink it, and we're going to take the next bite out of the elephant next time. So thanks very much for watching. I am here to help you, and yeah, have a nice day.